In recent years, our region's restaurant scene has come a long way from a classic meat and potatoes town a generation ago with a lot of pasta and pierogies tossed in. Local chefs have joined the local foods and farm-to-table movement, and a number of them are attracting national attention. Legume is one good example. The restaurant that recently expanded into a new location in Pittsburgh's Oakland neighborhood has been a semi-finalist in the National James Beard Foundation competition. Trevett Hooper is co-owner and the chef, and welcome. Good to have you here.
Thanks, great to be here.
Yeah, congratulations. Getting to be a semi-finalist in the James Beard is a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, we didn't win anything, but just to be mentioned with the other restaurants that were mentioned is really an honor.
Well, it really is.
Yeah.
It says kind of people on the cutting edge of cuisine all across the United States, and you don't often see, I mean, years ago, probably we wouldn't have expected Pittsburgh to show any Pittsburgh restaurant to show up on the list at all. So, yeah, it's really great. Now, how did you get into the restaurant business?
Well, I just, I started because I love food. I love eating. And so I just wanted to learn how to cook. So I just went and knocked on some doors, and I got a job in a restaurant, and this was in Ohio where I was going to school. This gave me a little money while I was in college, and I just loved it.
And you were starting out, what, washing dishes?
Washing dishes.
You did whatever they wanted you to do, right?
Washing dishes, and then I did a lot of hours for free, you know. I'd wash dishes, I'd come in early the next day and just work with the chef and just get all I could.
So they kind of viewed you as an unpaid trainee for part of your responsibilities. Yes. Okay, just picked it up along the way that way, right?
Yes.
And then worked in restaurants where around the country?
Well, I after college, I moved to Boston. I worked at a really great place there. I moved back to I moved to Pittsburgh with my wife Sarah, who
she was from here, right?
Yeah, she's from here. And so I was here in the late 90s, worked at La Palmier, I worked at Cafe Zeno.
Oh, okay, so some great restaurants in that era of Pittsburgh cuisine.
It was a wonderful experience. And I just wanted to, I wanted to go to California. So in early 2000s, Sarah and I moved to San Diego, and I was cooking, baking, doing all kinds of different things out there.
So now you're back in her hometown,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so did you want to start a restaurant when you came back? Was that part of the
Yeah, I originally wanted to actually start a bakery, but because at that point in time I was doing a lot of pastry, and but it just made more sense to do a restaurant. Baking is really hard. Like you're competing with grocery stores, and it's a really hard thing to do, I think, but so the restaurant made a lot more sense.
Okay, and what became the philosophy? What you know, for Legume and what you've been doing there?
Well, the idea is putting as much really healthy, high quality food on the plate as possible, and so most of that means, you know, sourcing locally as much as we can. And I think what makes us a little different. I was always attracted to restaurants that had that philosophy, and you know, and we'd be doing amazing salads in the summer, and wonderful tomatoes and beautiful gourmet baby vegetables, and all year long. But then I noticed, you know, this is great. We're garnishing food, but like the meat and potatoes of it was still, you know, factory farmed. It was, you know, coming from the Midwest or wherever. And so with Legume, we try really hard to really make sure the bulk of the food, what we're really eating, is healthy and coming from nearby farmers.
So I see locally sourced lamb and other poultry and everything else.
Lamb, beef, the quail, chicken, goats, veal. It's all from Pennsylvania.
That's really terrific. And the menu, you change it every day, right? Like, is that kind of based on ingredients?
Yeah, well, a lot of it has to do with the whole animal economy. So, and this is rather new for us the last year and a half. When we first opened, you know, if we wanted to do pork, we'd get a case of pork butts and we'd braise it, and we'd have pork butt on the menu every day. And maybe little things would change, like the vegetable or whatever. Now we have a whole pig. So from a whole pig, we have 2 pork butts. So we have 1 day of pork butts, and then maybe another day of the pork chops, and then sausages and ham. So there's a whole animal economy that drives the menu.
Well, and you're really a good example of just how much the restaurant scene has changed here in Pittsburgh. There's a lot of your colleagues, competitors, whatever, with this kind of philosophy. It seems to be a real growing trend here.
Yeah, it's I think more and more. I mean, it's part of a larger national trend, really. It's eating locally is a really good thing to do.
Well, it is. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations. Thanks for bringing it here to our region. The restaurant is called Legume. Trevett Hooper, co-owner and chef, and congratulations again on being a James Beard semifinalist.
Thank you very much.
Up next, we'll be back with a little dollars and cents. Stay with us.